Sort of look French. Wait. We're back with another review today, and it's all things Arrtx. In my last review, it was also Arrtx, but it was specifically the alcohol markers, which are these bad boys here. I will mention these again today because we need a little refresh. I've continued using them and I have new thoughts. But not only do I have these bad boys, I also have these gel acrylic pens. Not just one acrylic marker set, but two! This acrylic set here I have seen all over my TikTok, all over my Instagram. These are pretty popular and I have controversial thoughts. But yes, not only did I test out these bad boys, I tested out all of these products over the last few weeks. So today's review is going to be on all of these products, how they swatch, how they look, how they feel, how they perform, packaging, value, all the good stuff. Let's get into it. What do I want to start with? Let's start with the alcohol markers, just get them out of the way because I've spoken a lot about these, but we're just going to do a quick refresh. This set here has 90 alcohol markers. It values for $129.99 AUD, so that makes it about $1.44 per marker. It has this awesome packaging, which I carried on about in the last video because I think it is the coolest thing. It sits on my desk. I love it. I love how, like, it's its own little stand. Like, it's such a cool pack. I love this packaging. It is so awesome. It has all the different colors you could possibly need, except for orange. I do not know why there is no orange in this. It is a brush tip and a fine tip alcohol marker. So let's get into these swatches. I am going to go over this all over again, just so then we can have a refresher. They swatch beautifully. I hate this piece of paper. It is just an A4 piece of paper. I don't like that. I would rather a card because every time I use these, I can't be bothered to flip this out and look through it. It's just me being lazy. I'd rather little cards like this size that I can flip through. That's just personal preference. I don't like this. But they swatch beautifully. I said this in the last one. I just wish the caps had the color, not necessarily just the number. I wish it said like violet or light blue, pale blue. Like, I wish it had the color on there, but that's also a personal preference thing, just because I know what smoke blue would look like compared to 92. Once again, personal preference. I want to go into the updated thoughts on this bad boy. I love it. I do reach for it. The colors are fantastic. The markers glide beautifully. Them compared to my Ohuhus are perfect. These work like a dream. They really, really do. My only issue now is that after a few uses, they dried out. They dried out big time. And some of the markers that I've never used before dried out. For example, this walnut color, I'd never used it before and she was dry. That's not great because I've owned my Ohuhus for a very long time and I haven't swapped over the nibs on them where you flip it over and you have a fresh nib. I've had to do this with a few of the Arrtx pens and that's not really good. I am someone that uses my markers a lot. If you know me, you know I go through my colouring books like no tomorrow. So I like to have pens that last me a while, but I felt like these went dry quite quick and that really broke my heart because I do love them. I really do. Like this colour 96, it's pastel. They have the most gorgeous pastel colors in here and grays. You know I love my grays, but my goodness, they did dry so quick. I don't know if you guys picked up on it, but every tutorial I was using these and I was like, so this one's drying out, this one's also drying out. Like I just kept having issues where they were drying out on me really quick and I wasn't using them that much yet, so they shouldn't have been doing that. Just keep this in mind in case you are thinking of buying the Arrtx. This is just my experience, but I am still an Ohuhu girl with my alcohol markers. Let's get into these gel pens. This was a sneaky little favorite. This was so sneaky. I saw these and I was like, oh, they're cute. Like, I won't really reach for that. I have used these a fair few times recently, especially for journaling, but I love these. Let's go into the details of this before I go too ham into the review. So these are the acrylic gel pens. They claim to have vibrant colors, high coverage, and smooth writing. 24 colors. It comes in this cute box. I will say Arrtx's packaging is so adorable. Like their branding, I love their branding. I think it's so cute. Comes in this little box where it has different shelves. I don't mind that for something as small as a 24 pack. I like that. I like that if I want to get a specific color, I can just lift it off and grab it. I don't mind that when it comes to this size. I think it's very cute. It is a 0.7 tip. It's got a little clicky These are valued for $24.99 AUD. That makes them about $1.04 per pen. They are water-based acrylic pens, so just like every other acrylic pen, just in a bullet pen form. And what's included in this packaging is a beautiful swatch sheet. I love this. This is beautiful. It's small, it's nice and thick, not too thick. It's got all the little swatches, little squiggles. I love a good swatch sheet. You got my heart. Already this was on a good track before I even used them. I love a good swatch sheet. Let's get into how these actually performed on this swatch sheet. I think they performed beautifully. The colors were so solid, they were nice and smooth. They did everything they claimed. Along the way of doing the colors, I did notice that there were a couple blues that skipped over, but that could have been me, honestly, because they came with these little red things on the top. And I'm used to that, like every pen you buy has that, but when you've got a pack of 24 and you're sitting there trying to rip it off, I was even like trying to talk to ChatGPT being like, is there a hack to this? Because it was annoying. Ultimately, my nail just plucking it off was the best choice, but if it skipped over, I'm going to blame me in case there was a little bit of red left on there, but no, I thought these swatched out beautifully. On top of this, I wanted to see how it would go on black, because if I'm going to use this for not only journaling, because I see myself reaching for these for journaling like I have been, I want to see how they perform for colouring pages. So I did swatch these bad boys on a black piece of paper. I was pleasantly surprised. All the colours did so well. Like the white was the one that I was like, let me see. But I feel like they all performed so beautifully. There are some that skipped, like specifically this yellow. I don't know what she was doing, but that could have once again been the red thing. I don't know, but it hasn't done that since. But I am so impressed by these pens. I really love them. I love them. I think they are so beautiful. I use them for the little details in colouring. Here's a small demonstration of me using them on a colouring page recently, just for that added little detail. Beautiful. They worked so lovely. They are so solid of pigment. I love these pens. If you're left-handed, I'd be a little worried because they don't dry like that. So just be mindful if you're left-handed that these may smear and go all over the hand or smear all over your page. But for me as a righty, these work well. Now it's time to get into what we all came here for, which is the acrylic markers. I feel like Arrtx are sort of known for their acrylic markers. I could be wrong because I'm just judging this off of what I've seen on my feed. I was really excited to try these out. Not only do I have these ones, but I do compare them to my Ohuhu markers and also my ENMY markers. So while I was testing these out, I was also testing those three out, and when I compare these to them, I have notes, but let's get into the details. So this bad boy here, this is the 60 pack. It is valued for $69.99 AUD, and that makes it about $1.17 per marker. They are a brush tip. They have a direct with liquid ink system. They still have a little ball in them, so when you shake them, you can hear it. And they are water-based acrylic ink. These claim to have really good coverage, great ink flow, layering, all the good stuff when it comes to an acrylic marker. Let's discuss the packaging. Just like our gel pens from before, it's the lift off. Oh my god. And it's the shelves. So you take one out, plop it out, you take it out, you plop it out. And the pens are loosey-goosey in here. I hate this packaging. I love it for the 24 pack. I do. I love it for that because there's only 24 of them and there's only 2 shelves. There are 4 shelves. You cannot get the bottom one out to save yourself, but they also are loosey-goosey and they just sort of run around. Personal preference, I don't like this. The box itself is a good size, I guess, but when it comes to actually using them, I don't reach for them because they are in this contraption. Like, I sort of wish they were in a case of some sort. I don't know. That's just me, but the packaging on the actual pen themselves is so cute. Once again, the Arrtx branding is so beautiful. But that's the packaging. Once again, personal preference. You may look at this and love that idea. I thought I would. I don't. Let's discuss the swatch sheet. There wasn't one. There was not a swatch sheet in this, unless it's on the very bottom and I can't reach that because that bottom one is not coming out. There's not a swatch sheet. Arrtx, why you do this to me, man? I love a swatch sheet. I am not going to be able to tell the color by the cap because sometimes cap accuracy ain't good. But yes, there is no swatch sheet in this, so I did have to grab a piece of paper. Oh no, a piece of paper, I know. But I like having something that can go inside of this and come with it, so then I can always have it for reference of color, but I just love a swatch sheet. That's just me. Speaking of swatches, let's talk about how these performed during the swatch test. So with acrylic markers, we're looking for high coverage. So not only the color being solid, but how it would go on top of, let's say, black. Ink flow, so whether it is dry and doesn't want to come out, or if it's too much and it's coming out too soon. Blending, that's another one. Cap accuracy, that means something. That means a lot when it comes to something that doesn't come with a swatch sheet, because if you're not going to give me a swatch sheet, your cap accuracy better be good. And ultimately how they feel in the hand. Is the packaging well clipped? As in, does the cap click on well? I don't want this to dry out if I didn't fully click it down. You know, some pens it's like not just a little, it's like a, don't get me started. The amount of times I've come back to a pen and it's like, oh, I didn't security bolt it closed because it has like an ultimate like, I feel like these swatched up beautifully. They were nice and full coverage. They came out of the marker quite well. The ink flow was beautiful. The colors were vibrant. I love a vibrant color. There was no splotchiness, no streakiness. And I feel like the colors overall are quite beautiful. Like, I feel like there's not a color in this pack that didn't fit, or it was like, oh, that's a random color to put in here. No, I feel like the colors were just beautiful. And the pack itself just works so nicely. Like, I feel like this is a really good, I don't want to say beginner friendly pack, maybe above beginner friendly because there's a lot to choose from here. I feel like these markers perform so well on the swatch sheet. I'm sorry, I'm so salty that there's not a swatch sheet. Like, cause like, cap accuracy is where the cap needs to match the swatch. Some pens work so beautifully, like it's like, oh wow, that is spot on. Look at that. Like, it could be a little darker on the cap, but I feel like that is quite accurate. There are some markers that are a little baby tiny bit off, like this blue, it's not quite the same, like it's so close, but it's just not. Like, if I were to use that, I'd be surprised by the blue that would come out of it. There are some markers where it's like, oh, good thing I've got a swatch sheet to compare it to. When I'm using an acrylic pen, I'm most likely going to be using it for either my paintings or my colouring. I like to use that for colouring, specifically on top of black for galaxy skies or over black lines. So I wanted to give this the test of how it would go on a black piece of paper. Oh girl, these were horrible on black. I don't know if it was my marker set, I don't know if it was the weather that day, but these decided to clock off after that white paper. These were blotchy, they were smeary, they were dotty, they were just not what we want. They are not good on top of black. They are not solid in color, in pigment. They are not full coverage, as in there are splotches, there are bits of black that we can see through it. It's streaky. It was so bad that I started with the first 4 and I went, I'm not doing that anymore. Like, that is really bad. And I just wanted to show you guys in comparison. So these are the Arrtx ones along the top that we just swatched. I'm going to go in with the ENMY markers, and I'm just going to go in with the white, the light yellow and yellow, just to show you guys the difference of coverage and performance. These are so pigmented and rich. I just wanted to show you guys how these should have performed versus how they did. Just let you know that the ENMY markers are valued at $102 AUD, which makes them about $1.28 per pen. And the Ohuhu markers are valued at $152 AUD, but that's for the 120 pack. So they're about $1.27 per pen. You do pay for performance, I will say, because this top one, the Arrtx, that was so disappointing. And when I did try them in my coloring pages, which I did, because I was like, just give them a chance, give them a moment, they didn't layer up well. They didn't perform well. I love the packaging. I love these for simple tasks, like maybe journaling as like a little added little cute bit or something. I just don't see myself reaching for these. Okay, so swatch sheet aside just for a minute, let's get into the blendability. So I tested these out with a light to a light color, and then I wanted to test them out to a light to a medium color and then medium to a dark color, just to see how they blend out. These blend like a dream. How these perform on a white piece of paper, they are beautiful. So if you're an artist, if you're thinking about using these for your paintings or on top of white canvas or white paper or in your art books and you're very artsy like that, these are perfect. I think these blend like a dream. They are so, so good. These, when it comes to on top of other colors or on top of anything other than white, they don't work well. They are not opaque. They are not full coverage. I will not really be reaching for these. And as well, I found myself having to screw, not the cap. The cap clicks on well. It's this bit here where it's like that. It keeps unscrewing, so I find myself having to re-screw it. That's just another little packaging fault, I guess. Performance-wise, they didn't do it for me. I don't think these are really very good. I'm sorry. This is my personal preference. This is my own experience. I know how popular these are. These just didn't cut it for me. I won't really be reaching for these unless I'm doing my artworks on a white piece of paper. They are beautiful though. They just didn't perform well in the other situations I need them for, like my coloring pages or on top of black. Okay, the product we all came here for. This is one of their most popular products on their website. This is the one that I see all over my feed. This is the one that put Arrtx on the map for me, sort of. This is such a bestseller for them, and I was so excited to try this out. I just want to let you guys all know as well that these were all sent to me. I wasn't paid, none of the above. They actually just sent them to me because they were like, have a go. And I'm making this video just so then other people are aware, because I always wanted to know how good these are and, you know, if I'd enjoy them. So hopefully this video is helpful for people who are thinking about purchasing this. But I just wanted to put that out there that these are all sent to me. Thank you, Arrtx, again for sending these to me. And I'm sorry for ripping it into them. Anyway, back to this set. So this is the 150 Acrylic Marker Set. They are brush tip, they are water-based acrylic markers, and they have a big color range, my goodness. So these claim to have high coverage, great color, consistency, as in no skipping, no blotchiness, and they do not have that little ball inside where you shake and it comes out. So they have their own unique ink flow. They are valued at $104.99 AUD, which makes them about 70 cents per marker, which is an incredible value. Talk about the packaging. I feel like this is the thing that made this so unique, because I've never seen packaging like this. It is really cool. They're all upside down. They're in their own little grid. I think this is the coolest packaging for acrylic markers. I really do. These look so cool on my desk. I really enjoy this, and I love that the colors are on top and you can just sort of look over and grab the color you need. I love that. I love that they have their own little stand. But I will say I am a long distance girly, so to travel to my boyfriend's, I'm never taking these with me because they are in a box. They're not in a case, they aren't very travel friendly, and that does play a big part for me because I do like to take my colouring to my boyfriend's. While he's playing his game or watching a game, I like to be able to colour, so I won't be taking these with me. I would rather them be in a case. Like for example, the Ohuhu Kahuku, where they're in like a travel case and there's so many markers in here as well. I really enjoyed this case more so than that, but that's just because I travel a lot and I take my markers with me. So if you're an at-home girly who colours at home specifically, or has this in like a little craft cart, this is perfect. Absolutely. But I just wanted to mention that because I don't take these anywhere. These live on my desk and stay on my desk. Let's talk about the swatch sheet. Again, there was no swatch sheet. Why is there no swatch sheet? There's so many colors here. I would love a swatch sheet for this, and it'd be like a little card that I could slip in there. That would be so good. Not even a little card, just something. I just need a swatch sheet. I'm having a rant. Okay, let me have this rant for a second. Because of how popular these are, I wasn't even looking for this video. It just found me, because after I'd used these, and I've been testing them out for a few weeks now, I was like, surely, maybe there's like a swatch sheet underneath here or something. On my Instagram, there was literally a video of a girl doing a swatch on like a piece of paper. And I was like, oh, okay, so there really isn't a swatch sheet. But they came with this sticker pack, okay? Don't judge me, all right? I was a bit cranky, I was a bit pissy because there wasn't a swatch sheet and I was a bit salty about it. So I was like, oh, there's this. This is a sticker sheet. This is not a swatch sheet. These are stickers that you can peel off and put on the side. I don't really understand that, especially when they're like set up like this and they have them on the top. I guess having them on the lid would be a good thing. I don't know. That's, again, personal preference if you would rather that. I don't find a purpose for this, but that's just me. But I was salty. I was like, fine, I'm gonna treat this as a swatch sheet. I'm gonna see how accurate this thing is. Girl, these are horrible. These are not cap accurate at all. I was basing it off of this, and then this was so bad because I was starting to do a banana, and I literally picked up, what color was it? 403. Oh, it ain't a light pink. Oh, and then there were browns. I was like, okay, 820. Like, surely that's gonna be good. It was like a red. Girl, this, I wanted to throw in the bin because it was bothering me so bad. I was like, you're naughty. These colors are not accurate to what they are whatsoever. So just keep that in mind. I am also quite like passionate about this because it felt like a personal attack. Personal preference, guys. Just probably ignore this monologue of anger. But I was angry. So then I resided to just going off with the caps. I made everything 10 times harder for me. I just didn't feel like doing a swatch sheet for 150 markers, like based off of a piece of paper that won't fit in the box. So I was like, I'm just gonna do by the cap. Don't do that either, guys. Don't do that because they're also not that accurate to what they actually are. So ultimately, I had to do a swatch sheet on a piece of paper. Let's discuss how these bad boys swatched. These are very solid in pigment. I love how these feel. They are so beautiful. They are so vibrant. I can't believe how vibrant they are. They really are. I love the colors in here as well. When you have all the colors put out on a swatch sheet, you can really see the color story here. I really like it. I love the colors. I love the purples. I love the undertones. I love the grays. You know I'm a big sucker for grays. I'm nervous to say anything negative about these because of how popular these are. My only issue is that while I was using them, all of a sudden I was shaking them. I'm not a shaker. I always forget to shake my acrylic markers, but I was shaking these because the ink flow wasn't consistent. There wasn't consistent ink flow. I felt like it was drying out. I felt like it was not very full coverage. It was getting streaky. So then your instant thought is, oh, I'll just shake it. There's no shaker in this. There's no nothing. How it comes out is how it comes out. I'll get more into that in the demo. I do have a demo for you guys on these swatches, but I do have a demo for you guys on these markers, so I'll get more into that. But these swatched beautifully. Once again, I wanted to see how they would go on a black piece of paper. I was pleasantly surprised. These did really beautifully. They did much better than the last pack. They were full coverage, they were consistent, they weren't patchy. Like, there are a couple colors on this sheet that maybe I could go over a second time, but 9 times out of 10, these are full coverage. They are beautiful. There are winners on this sheet. Like, I could sit here and circle the ones where it's like, yep, that's full coverage, that's full coverage. I could also sit here and circle the ones where it's like, oh, I wouldn't use that on black. But I think these performed quite well on black paper. That tells me a lot for my coloring. I do test these out on a coloring page as well. Blendability, these blend gorgeously. These blend like a dream. They just unite. They are perfect. I didn't have any issues blending. But if you do go from a really dark color to a really light color, you may sit there and swap between the two colors a lot because it does feel like it's like drying. Your brain tells you to shake it. You don't shake it, you just gotta be patient with it. But these blend beautifully. But now it's time for the demo. I have this acrylic marker paper. So this paper is specifically made for acrylic markers. So that is the best thing to test it on. I did a Gogmo. That wasn't with these ones. This is when I was testing the ENMY markers, but I did Gogmo. Gogmo loves it. I love it. Okay, when I was testing these markers, I was testing them out on my fruit artwork, so I started to do fruit. But the demo I have for you guys today is on this grape. I have notes. Layering, they layer beautifully. They layer so gorgeously. I placed this dark blue down, and then any color I placed on top, it was vibrant. Sure, for some colors, I felt like I had to go over it twice just to get that vibrancy really there. But when it came to the dark colors and placing light colors on top of it, I felt like it worked well. Could have been a little better, but I feel like it did pretty good. I'm just comparing this to the ENMY and Ohuhu ones, specifically the ENMY ones. ENMY, when you place any dark color down, you place a light color on top of it, and honestly, it is just so pigmented. I'm going to keep saying ENMY because their markers I was testing out at the same time as these. They work beautifully. So every time I compare it, just know I'm comparing it to that. But these for the grapes, they worked so well. I felt like the colors just sat so nicely with each other. When I did my swatch sheet, I felt like there was perfect colors for what I needed. The color range in this pack is fabulous. The greens sat nicely, the blues, the purples, the undertones of everything worked so well. I'm gonna bring up these other two artworks. This is the banana I did before that I had to keep restarting because of the swatch sheet. But when I was doing my bananas, I felt like this light pink background was giving me a lot of issues. It kept drying out on me. I had to keep going back over it. I got it to this solid color because I had to keep going over it. And then with the actual markers themselves on the fruit, the strawberry was really hard. I felt like every time I picked up a color, it just wasn't working well enough. I felt like I just kept shaking it. I noticed I kept shaking these pens because I was like, I need more. And I had to keep laying over it and over it and over it. I had to keep going back, and I was like, maybe that's just how this paper is, or maybe that's just how this is going today, because I didn't have issues with Kokomo. So I was like, okay, let me do a fruit in a different marker. That is when I did the avocados in the ENMY, and I wasn't having any of the issues that I was having with the Arrtx markers. And I wanted to show the background. In the video, the background wasn't giving it full translation of how annoying it was getting with the like full solid square background. But it does get streaky, it does get very dry, and it starts to pill. So when you go over the same acrylic marker over and over and over again, it sort of pills. I don't know how to explain it, but I had to keep wiping away the little pilly bits and going over it. And another issue I was having is the yellow stars just weren't yellow. These are little things. This is just me as well, where I was like, oh, that's not as vibrant as I wish it was. Once again, personal preference. I am so scared to be so negative on these markers. They work beautifully. They really do. I now have another marker to compare it to, so when they don't perform as well, I'm getting like nervous when they don't perform as well. No, when they don't perform as well as like my ENMY markers, I'm like, oh, I just want to use my ENMY markers. Just once again, these worked beautifully. Look at how beautiful. But they had small issues. But yes, that demonstration aside, I also tested these markers out in my coloring book. So I was using these markers specifically on a grass page I was doing, and I felt like the colors were not translating on the dark colors. So in the grass I have dark patches, and I was like, oh, I'll do like some light color purples or yellows on top. They weren't showing up. I would not use these to go over black lines. I would not use these over really dark elements of a coloring page. I see myself using these for my art, like my grapes and stuff like that. Like I see myself working with these for my artworks, but coloring, not really. I know, not really. These work really well. They are quite beautiful. And let's go into final thoughts. So final thoughts. The winner for today would be the Gel Acrylic Pen 24 pack. I really enjoyed these, and I do find myself reaching for these actually and using them in my journaling and my coloring pages as final details. I really do enjoy this, and I like the packaging for the 24 marker set, and I love the little swatch sheet. I really highly recommend these ones. I really like them. The alcohol markers, I really wish I could recommend these, but I just can't. I really can't. They just dried out way too quick for my liking. They started so beautifully. I love the packaging. They sit on my desk. I still reach for them, but I fight with them every time I use them. I wish I could recommend these. I really do, but I think save your money and get some Ohuhus, because I found issues with these ones, the drying, and they're not lasting very long, but I do like them, and I like the colors, just not how long they last. So I wouldn't recommend. Then it's onto the 60 pack of acrylic markers. I like them. They're okay. They're decent. I like the packaging. I don't like the box. I like the colors. I like them for simple things. I don't like them for the other things that I would use them for. So coloring or very detailed artwork or big artwork or something where it's big. I don't know how to word it. This is great for simple things. Would I recommend them? It's a good question. I like them, but I think there's better. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm so sorry, Arrtx. There's so many things I like about them, but there's so many things I don't like about them that I wish I could use them for, so that is once again personal preference. And then it's onto these. If you are an artist and you love doing like your art book stuff, I'm really good with words today, by the way. If you like doing your artsy stuff in your art books, this is great. You know me, I have my little art book there that I love doing my fruit and my kokomos on. So this is great. I see myself using these for that. Absolutely. I love these for artworks, for art. I just don't see myself using these for my coloring and adding different elements to my coloring pages or going over lines or using them as fireworks, for example, or something. This for my artwork, great. I highly recommend this for artists who love doing, you know, your acrylic pen artwork. But if you're like a colorist like me who wants to use acrylic markers for multiple purposes, I would recommend ENMY or Ohuhu Kahuku pack before these. The packaging is so cute. So if you're a stay-at-home girly who loves to paint, these are perfect for you. I think this is an amazing buy. These are really beautiful. They really are. So that was the full Arrtx review for you guys today. I hope this review was helpful in case you're thinking of purchasing any of these items. If any of them are your favorites and I slammed them, I'm so sorry. Maybe it was the one I got, I don't know. This is all, once again, my personal preference, my experience. So just take it with a grain of salt. And thank you again, Arrtx, for sending these to me. And I'm sorry for slamming some of them. But yeah, if you like this video, give it a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. See ya!